He had always believed that life could be measured, counted, and controlled. A tick for every moment, a turn for every choice. He was a clockmaker by trade, and in his small, dimly lit workshop, surrounded by hundreds of ticking timepieces, he felt a fragile sense of order in a chaotic world. Every cog he repaired, every gear he aligned, gave him the illusion that time itself could be fixed. Yet, outside the walls of his workshop, his own life had grown fragmented. Friends drifted away, love had slipped through his fingers, and his own dreams were like dust caught in the wind. He had spent years counting time for others, repairing what was broken, but he had never learned how to live it himself. One evening, as twilight sank into the city, a woman entered his shop carrying a clock unlike any he had seen. It was tall, carved from dark mahogany, and its hands moved backward, counterclockwise, as though rebelling against the natural flow of time. Its glass face shimmered under the workshop light, and the man felt a chill he could not explain. "Can you repair this?" she asked, her voice calm but edged with something urgent. He took the clock in his hands and examined it for hours. The gears inside were impossibly complex, interwoven in patterns he had never encountered. And yet, as he adjusted the smallest components, he noticed something that made him pause. Flashes of visions, memories not entirely his own, passed before his eyes. He saw roads he had never taken, words he had never spoken, relationships he had abandoned. Each tick of the clock seemed to pulse with the life he might have lived differently. Confused and frightened, he looked up at the woman. Why do I see things that aren't mine? These memories, they feel real, yet they aren't." She smiled faintly. "Time is never just a measure of seconds, minutes, or hours. Time is the sum of choices, the weight of actions, the courage to face what you fear. Every moment ignored, every fear avoided creates chains. This clock shows you what those chains look like and asks you, will you break them?" He felt a sinking weight in his chest. For decades, he had been avoiding life. He had watched it pass through the windows of his shop, thinking he could control the world by controlling the clocks. But he had neglected himself. And now, confronted by a timepiece that reflected all he had avoided, he felt panic. He spent nights hunched over the clock, repairing each intricate gear, each delicate spring. Every adjustment brought more visions, memories of opportunities he had declined, friendships he had let rot in silence, loves he had abandoned out of fear. One vision struck him so sharply it left him trembling. A young woman he had loved years ago, standing outside his door with a letter in her hands that he had never opened. The letter contained words that could have changed both their lives, but he had never had the courage to read it. As the visions continued, the woman's words echoed in his mind. "Time is what you live, not what you measure." Weeks passed, and the clock became more than an object of work. It became a mirror, a guide, a teacher. Each night, he confronted a memory, a fear, or a regret. He spoke aloud the words he had never spoken, apologized to the people he had hurt, and dared to act where he had once frozen. He wrote letters, made calls, reached out to friends and family he had ignored for years. Each action felt small, fragile, terrifying, but the clock pulsed brighter with every step he took. One evening, after repairing the final gear, the clock chimed a sound he had never heard before, a soft, harmonious note that seemed to resonate not just in the workshop, but deep inside him. The visions faded, leaving him exhausted but alive. For the first time in decades, he felt a sense of control, not over time itself, but over how he chose to live it. And then he understood, time cannot be held, stopped, or predicted. It cannot be repaired from the outside. Time lives inside us. in every choice we make, in every word we speak, in every fear we confront. By avoiding life, we do not stop time, we squander it. By daring to live fully, even amidst fear and uncertainty, we shape it. He stepped outside his shop that night. The streets were alive with people rushing home, laughing, arguing, existing in ways he had forgotten existed. He felt an unfamiliar freedom, the thrill of moving alongside time instead of chasing or resisting it. And for the first time, he smiled, not because life was perfect, but because he had decided to live it fully, moment by moment. And now I want you, watching this story, to pause for a moment. Ask yourself, what is one fear, one action, one choice that you have been avoiding? What is one moment in your life that you have allowed to pass because it seemed too risky or too uncertain? Imagine it as a gear in your own inner clock, broken or misaligned. Can you take action today to repair it? Can you start living fully instead of measuring life from the sidelines? If this story resonates with you, subscribe to this channel. Share in the comments one action you will take to reclaim your time, to face your fear, or to live fully. Your story matters, and by sharing it, you might inspire someone else to do the same. He never saw the woman again, and the clock never appeared after that night. But its lessons remained. Every day, every choice, every second was no longer just time, it was life. He no longer repaired clocks for others merely to measure seconds. He repaired his own life, minute by minute, with courage, intention, and awareness. And in doing so, he discovered that living fully was the greatest mastery of all. Remember this, time is always moving. It will never wait, and it will never return. But you can choose how to live it. Do not waste another moment counting hours. Start making them count. Carry your courage forward. Face your fears, repair your life, and take your first step today.